Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today in this video, I'm going to do my second video game review. Yeah, it's been a really long time since I did a full game review on the channel. The last game review I did was for Grand Theft Auto 4, which I somehow plan to do a re-review for the game in the future, so stay tuned for that. But this time, I'm going to be doing a review for a game called Sleeping Dogs. So this is a martial arts open world game. This is a third-person shooter martial arts open world game which was released in 2012, originally on the PlayStation 3, the Xbox 360 and the PC. I mean, this game is pretty old. I mean, it's not that old, but still. So at a glimpse, it looks just like the Grand Theft Auto franchise, but it's not. I mean, this is a martial arts open world game, but this is martial arts focused. This is a martial arts open world third-person shooter game. So yeah, and this game actually takes place in the city of Hong Kong, unlike all of the GTA games which take place in fictional US cities. But this game takes place in the city of Hong Kong, very unique and great place. The city of Hong Kong in this game is actually very well designed and detailed. The city has lots of neon lights, dark alleyways and locations which give you the Hong Kong feel. And I absolutely love the city of the game, and I wished more open world games nowadays or back then would have set their games in Hong Kong, because I think Hong Kong is a great place. And I don't really know how accurate Sleeping Dogs' Hong Kong is compared to the real life Hong Kong, but that doesn't matter that much, yeah. And I also like the map, even though the map isn't that big, but I still like it. Yeah, and it feels big. I mean, it looks small but feels big. Yeah. On top of that, the story is also really engaging too. But the best part about the game is the combat. Yeah, this game has the best combat I have ever seen in an open world game, especially the hand-to-hand combat. I'll talk about those later in the video. In Sleeping Dogs, you play as a character called Wei Shen, who is a former police officer in San Francisco, and then he was transferred to the Hong Kong Police Department to gain access to the triad organization and destroy them. But there's one thing, you're an undercover cop in the story. Yeah, you actually work with the triads, do jobs for them, and do everything for them so that they can gain your trust. Also, you should know that not all police officers know that you're an undercover cop. They can even chase you and arrest you. Plus, along with doing jobs for the triads, you can also work as a cop. Yep, there are two subplots in the game. Throughout the game, you can choose to do missions for the triads, which are all of the main story missions, or the cases, where you work as an undercover cop and solve like small cases and big cases of serial killers, drug busts, and many more. The triad missions are actually the most fun in the game. They're very varied. They involve either hand-to-hand combat or gun battles, and sometimes epic action set pieces like car chases. This game also has one of the best chase sequences I have ever seen in a game. Like especially the car chases. I was like shooting them with tires off and watching their cars bounce, explode, and flip. It's so fun. I love it. And the cases mostly include missions like lots of hacking, and investigations, and some races too. Yeah, and both the triad and cases missions are really fun. They never feel like a chore or they never feel repetitive. The story is also absolutely awesome in this game. I mean, it's not perfect by any chance, but it's still really good. You will always want to know what happens next in the story. It's that compelling, it's that engaging. I love it. Even though the story has some flaws, I'll talk about the flaws at the end. So yeah, so stay tuned. I love the story of this game, even though the story isn't perfect. I mean, it's not the best story in the world, but it's still really good. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. If you love like cop movies and like Hong Kong action films, then you would truly love this game. Now, the combat. As I said, it's the best I've seen in an open world game. I actually had a lot more fun in the hand-to-hand combat than I ever did in the gun battles. Even though both are really fun, the environmental kills like make it more fun. Like when you're in combat and you grab the enemy, you can take the enemy to a special object or place which highlights red. Yeah, you can use the environment to finish the enemy off. And then you can take the enemy and do a brutal finishing move on him. And there are many of them in the game and they're very brutal and satisfying to do. Yeah, here's some of my favorites. Yep, they're all very brutal and I love doing them all the time. It makes the combat even more varied and fun. There are also many moves and combos you can do while striking, running, grappling, and some secret moves as well. For the gun battles, there's also one element in it which makes it even more fun. Is that while you're behind cover, you can vault out of cover in slow motion and shoot all the enemies. This game makes you feel like an action hero from Hong Kong action films and Bollywood films than a criminal like in Grand Theft Auto, and I love that. The slow motion wall shooting also makes the gun combat even more varied. There are even many side missions scattered around the whole map as it's an open world game. So yeah, you have the dates, the favor, some jobs from people, small co-op jobs, drug busts, and many more. Yeah, there are so many things to do in the game. And yeah, I was surprised at how much fun this game was. There are so much content, so much missions, side missions, activities. I'll talk about activities and mini games later. I also forgot that there's a great progression system in this game in terms of skill trees, which are separated into four, which are the co-op upgrades, the triad upgrades, the melee upgrades, the face upgrades, and the health upgrades. Even though the health upgrades aren't really a skill tree, I'm still counting that. Yeah. Also, this game has one of the best skill trees I have ever seen in the game. Yeah, in a game. You can get all of these XP points for each of these skill trees by completing the missions and the side missions, except for the melee upgrades, which I'll talk about a little bit later. So I'm not counting the health upgrades now. I'll count that later. And for other skill trees like the co-op, the triad, and the face, you need to complete side missions, the main missions, and the cases. That's it. Yeah. And also this skill tree is way better than Far Cry 3 because it does not rely on making the skill tree way too big and giving so many skills. I thought Far Cry 3 was good, but I thought they focused more on like quantity on the skill tree. I thought the skill in Far Cry 3 could have been used with a lot more thought because almost all of the skills in Far Cry 3 are useless and pointless. I mean, not all of the skills in Far Cry 3, but most of them are pointless and useless. But in this game, all of the skills in each of the skill tree are really useful because there are less of them in each skill tree, but all of them you will likely use in your game. So yeah, and this game also has one of the best skill trees I ever seen in a game. The sleeping down skill tree isn't really like a famous gaming skill tree. I mean, it just goes like this and this. But yeah, I can still say it's the best skill tree because yeah, all those skills are useful and it wants me to upgrade all of them. So yeah, every skill is useful and each of them have a purpose. The tried upgrades have their own purpose and the co-op upgrades also have their own purpose. So yeah, I love them. There are even collectibles in the game. There are the jade statues, the health shrines, the spy cameras, and the log boxes. And the health shrines and jade statues are the most useful while playing. For the health shrines, you have to collect 50 health shrines scattered around the city of the game. And if you collect all of them, you will get a health upgrade, which like covers your normal health bar with an blue armor, as you can see at the bottom left hand corner of your screen. Also, the health shrines are very useful, and there are 50 of them around the map. You can collect however you want, whenever you want. There's no restrictions, and yeah, I love the collectibles in the game. The collectibles in Sleeping Dogs are awesome. They're way more meaningful and useful compared to many of the GTA games. I mean, not all of them, especially GTA 4. GTA 4's collectibles were garbage. I didn't like them at all, especially the pigeons were the only collectibles in JD4, but you have to collect 200 pigeons in JD4 or shoot them or whatever, and that was way too tedious. And they are the most annoying collectibles ever made in a video game. Yeah, I'm not kidding. And for the jade statues, you have to collect 11 jade statues around the whole map to upgrade your melee skill tree. Yep, that's right. After you collect each one of the jade statues around the whole map, you can learn new fighting moves, grappling moves by returning your jade statues to the martial arts dojo. Yeah, after that you can learn new fighting moves. Yeah, and this is a great progression, and this is really good creative, and I think many games should learn from this game because this game is criminally underrated and it didn't get the recognition that it deserved. And for the spy cameras, you need to collect 26 spy cameras on the whole map. To collect it, you need to hack, yeah, you need to hack each one of the security cameras. And first, after you hack it, you need to go to your safe house and just bust a drug dealer. Yep, you need to see through your hacked camera and bust a dealer. And after completing each one of them, you would get cop XP and money. Yep, and I'm gonna show you that right now. And I'm at my safe house, and you need to go to your safe house TV wherever your TV is in your safe house, and you need to select which one your hacked camera is, and after that you need to select each camera and then bust a dealer. And I have completed most of them, so I can show you like right now. But yeah, when you play the game, then you'll understand why. There are also some minigames in the game. They include betting on cockfighting.
My booze are off. I got strong. My booze are off this. You smart. Keep strong first.
拍緊屌閪啊你！邊有可能啊？你老母生到你咁西嘅真係前世啦！收皮啊仆街！黐線啊！拍緊屌閪啊你！
And playing poker mahjong, which I don't really know how to play, but it's there. If you know how to play, you can play.
That's more like it.
哦，冇問題啦。做啊，做啊，你話做啊？你話點就點啦。
As you can see, I don't really know how to play, but yeah, if you know how to play, you can do it. Yeah, see, I'm just like guessing randomly, or like doing this, or like I'm cashing out or doing anything. Yeah, so yeah. I mean, I don't really know how to play, but I'm just playing it here for fun. Yeah.
你話點就點啦。哦，冇問題啦。
I mean, this is a poker game. I mean, this is a Hong Kong version of poker, so
You
it's a
lose.
bit different. Yep, I knew it. I will. So yeah, yeah. So here's poker mahjong. If you know how to play, you can play it. Yep. And a karaoke minigame, which are all pretty fun, especially this one. I mean, the karaoke minigame isn't that hard. I mean, it's just a pattern matching minigame, but still, I still like it, and it's still fun too. and the songs are also really good in this game. And the karaoke mini game is pretty good. Everybody should try it. Yep. And there's a specific mission where you have to complete the karaoke to proceed it. So yeah, you will learn it really fast. It's pretty easy. I mean, it's not that challenging or that like head crunchingly hard. It's it's pretty fun. Yep.
我上個星期見到你啊，我老公咯，都叫咗佢唔好使咁多錢㗎啦。佢話唔自在喎。
我已經走啦。
I know you hurt too, but what else can we do? Tormented and torn apart. I wish I could carry.
As you can see, the karaoke mini game is pretty easy. I mean, it's just a pattern matching thing. I mean, it's not really that hard, but it's still pretty fun. And the songs are pretty good in this game. Yeah. And I also forgot to mention the whole soundtrack in this game is pretty good. Yeah, I like it. It's mostly like Hong Kong soundtracks and stuff. And yeah. And one of my favorite things to do in the game is racing, which is absolutely awesome. The driving is fantastic in this game, and the racer AI is also really good. And these races in this game are fun and challenging, unlike in Grand Theft Auto 4. But the races in that game were pretty so boring. It was way too easy, and yeah, I never enjoyed the races in those games at all. And it felt too slow, way too realistic. And yeah, I know that GTA 4 was going for a realistic approach, but going for that all the time isn't that like good. Yeah. Yeah, as you can see, the races are chaotic in this game, and all the racer AI is also really good, like in GTA 4, as I said. And yeah, all the races are faster or slower than me, and it's pretty balanced. They are not that bad, and the races are very challenging in this game. I mean, few races are like some specific races are more challenging than the others. So yeah. The shooting was also pretty good in this game. I mean, some people say it's bad, but I don't think it's bad. In my opinion, it's pretty good. First of all, it felt brutal. It felt very satisfying. And it felt very satisfying to shoot an enemy and blood just splatter. And the physics are also really good. I mean, it's not the best physics of all time. I mean, it's not like as good as like Grand Theft Auto 4 and Red Dead Redemption and games like that, Max Payne 3, but it's still really good.
你冇㗎啦！好撚謝，我知我哋嘅好耐㗎啦。
And the graphics are also pretty good, and the city, especially at nighttime, looks absolutely amazing. At daytime, the city looks fine, but it just looks like a normal city. But at nighttime is when the city looks the best. That's when it shines. I love like driving around at nighttime, seeing the scenery of Hong Kong, and it's really great. So I just have one problem with the game is the glitchy combat. And I know that I said that the combat is absolutely fantastic and it's one of the best ever. I mean the best or whatever. There's sometimes a lot of button registration problems and sometimes especially doing hand-to-hand combat, the button just fails to register. Yeah. There's also a lot of glitches and bugs in the combat where sometimes your character like grabs the air and punches the air and yeah, and that happened to me a lot. I mean, most of them did not happen that much, but it did happen a lot. So yeah, but I'll not like lower the score down too much because that's not a big thing. I mean, that's not a huge problem on great game breaking problem of this game. That's just a small glitch and bug which every game in the world has. So I rate this game a 9 out of 10. And this is one of the best open world games I have ever played. And I love many video games like Half-Life, Grand Theft Auto, Saints Row 2, Far Cry, and more. I'll probably do review for those games as well in the future, so stay tuned for that. So that's my review. Hope you liked it. Leave a like down below, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you later. Bye.